Welcome into Sky Sport Next ongoing coverage of the 2021 BMX New Zealand National Championships, presented by Permapine, Red Stag Timber, Spark Business Hub and O'Sullivan Clemens. That's what's coming up over the course of our next session of racing. We do get to see the elites doing their thing. A field of 5 females and the men's field of 8. Have a look at some of the things there. You see the rankings, some of the competitors. It's a field of 6, Rebecca Petch and Jessie Smith will be the two favoured riders in this one. Rebecca Petch, of course, a national champion at this particular level, and Jessie Smith, a couple of years ago, world champion in her age group. Chris Newsom. World
champion, very, very skilled rider, making her way back in after a bit of a rough last 12 months from injury. But looking like she's going to do very, very well this weekend.
We've also got the males as well, and that's a very, very strong field, headlined by Michael Byers, featuring Rico Danvers, Cameron Jago. It's going to be a good group. To see people sort of just sitting and chatting. I can tell you as well, just a small update, if you were with our coverage before, Sherilyn Anderson, who took that one nasty tumble, she has been taken away from the venue in an ambulance. She was surrounded by her family, JT and the kids, well with her. She was in a little bit of pain, but she was sitting up, she was communicating, so there was no issues with regards to that there. So she has been taken away, obviously, to get checked out and get the full extent of whatever injuries she has sorted. But she was able to communicate, and no problems at all with regards to that, and move, although albeit under a little bit of duress. But Sherilyn, I'm sure, tough bunch of critters, those ones. Gizzy hard.
Very.
I'm sure we will see her back, but it was a big lick, but she's bounced back quite nicely.
Yeah, no, it'll be great to see her back on the track soon. They're just getting set up on the big gate at the moment, on the 8-metre ramp for the elites here, and they'll be looking down that ramp, lining up that first jump, and wanting to get that smooth so they can maintain their pace around into that first big turn.
There they go.
Here we go.
So that is Olivia Levens. Rebecca Petch is the
dropping down. We've got 2 that have cleared it, so that's definitely their advantage.
They work their way through now this long straight. Now this is a different course to what you've been seeing with the amateurs, so they will switch across. It is Rebecca Petch flying now. They will come through. Actually, no, they've gone a different. Is missed something here?
Yeah, so the girls actually ride the challenge line for the last 2 straights. But young Megan Williams, local rider here, Rotorua Club, doing a very, very good job of keeping Rebecca in check.
Rebecca Petch, though, getting the job done.
And like I say, Megan, still very, very young, but has done a fantastic job of cementing her position there, number 2.
My apologies there for my confusion with regards to that. So Megan in the 7.33, and then it's Rebecca Petch 3.08. Jessie Smith came through, by the way, in 3rd, 500. Now we switch over to the elite men's.
So noticing that first jump there, very critical for the ladies to make sure they get across.
9.01. Right-hand side of your screen, that's Michael Byers. Beside him, 7.21, that's Daniel Butterworth. Gate drops.
He pulls a pedal. Okay.
So
still manages to clear the first, which is
he's
good.
got a bit of work to do, so you're going to be able to see him quite clearly as they take that first hard turn, getting high up onto the berm.
There we go. Looks like Grenoff in front. Bierman.
They switch over. Now you'll see them transition over the top of that berm. Spectacular. That was a big jump. Oh, we're seeing Byers is making up plenty of ground at the moment, but at the front, going along really comfortably. It looks as though that's Rico Danvers. They come up and over the top. It is Danvers over that wee tabletop, and behind him it's Rico Bierman. And look at the ground made up by Michael Byers after losing the clip off the start. So Danvers, Bierman, Byers, 1, 2, and 3. Bennett Greenoff coming through in the 4th spot. Then it's Cameron Jago, Liam Godwin, Oliver Hannum, and Daniel Butterworth rounding out the 8.
There we go. That shows just how critical it is to make sure you stay clipped in and having those clips nice and tight. Unfortunately for Michael Byers, pulling a clip on the gate meant he was just going to struggle for the rest of the moto.
Yeah, but a heck of a comeback, though, to think about. Obviously losing and then getting himself all set back in.
Yeah, the young Rico's doing very, very well.
There's Bennett Greenoff, part of the clan. You just hear as well when they win over that transition where they go over the top of the berm that we've seen all the other amateurs cruising around, up and over the top. You could actually hear that audible ooh coming out of the crowd.
Well, with
serious here, it's a gap. It's a gap in a bit, isn't it?
It's a big gap. On the pro section, straight, the second jump is critical. You must clear the second of the pro sections to make sure you are clearing the corner gap. And if you do not, then you're either going to be coming up short or just rolling through.
The crowd, again, their first taste of the elite. So just confirming, Danvers from Beerman, Bias, the top three. And in the elite women, Rebecca Petch, Megan Williams and Jessie Smith, top three. It's a field of 5 in the elite women and a field of 8 in the men's. We've still got a lot of the finals, so for the most part it's semi-finals for our other grades. Just checking to see whether we do have, there was one very big class, whether they have decided that they're going to go with the quarterfinals. For the most part it is semi-finals. And in some cases just straight finals. We've still got a fair bit of racing still to come as now we turn our attention over to the 5 metre gate. We've seen the elites drop in for the first time off 8 metres.
Normally takes a little bit longer to get everybody organised again because the riders who are supposed to be up next will have been wanting to watch the elites and will have probably moved from where they were and stood their bikes up. So, yeah, a little bit of wrangling to get them all back into shape.
Well, you can't blame them because, I mean, if you're the young riders, these are the riders that get looked up to now. There are young riders who are going to say, hey, look, I want to do what Rebecca Petch is doing. I want to do what Jessie Smith is doing. I want to do what Michael Bias is doing.
It's the big jumps that everyone wants to see. There we go. Rebecca Petch, 39.6.
Williams not too far behind, and then Jessie Smith.
So it's great work there for Megan, as I say, young Rotorua local, and really stepping it up on the big stage.
Yeah, I know we're talking about elite athletes, but how bigger advantage would it be for the likes of Megan, obviously having access to this particular track on a regular basis? I know that the likes of Jessie and that will obviously have access to really high quality tracks as well, but to make it this specific track.
Yeah, well, definitely. Most of the riders aren't too far away from the tracks that have the big gates like this anyway, and they are given specific time to spend at these tracks.
As we work our way through as our next lot of racing is underway, and this is the quarterfinals for the 8 boys. And the man leading at the front there, 565, Dylan Toya out of Hamilton. They come around. Quarterfinal races. And in the 200 in behind him, that's Nixon Murphy out of Christchurch. But Toya, one of the more consistent riders right throughout the weekend. In third spot at the moment, it's Sebastian Bassett. And it's Reed Hookway, Josh Braithwaite battling it out. Nice work by Dylan. He'll come through from Nixon Murphy. Then Sebastian Bassett, Hookway and Braithwaite coming through to round out the 5. Next race. You see the youngsters having a bit of a chinwag about it. What do you think? Yeah, it wasn't too bad, mate. Quarterfinal number 2 in the 8 boys. Finn Lawrence, Tyler Cochran, Monty Gardner, Maximus Munro.
Plenty of support coming from the spectators, so obviously a few fans here to support these young riders.
Finn Lawrence to the front, the young fellow out of Hawera. Pedaling really hard, trying to get that little bit of a break. And behind him, 660 is Maximus Munro. The 500 is Monty Gardner. A bit of a fall earlier today, Monty, but he's up and rolling once again. Slides up into third spot, going up the inside there. Lawrence, Munro, then back to Gardner. Then we track our way back to Cochran. And then Ryder Taylor. This is nice by Finn Lawrence. Nice little break there over Munro. Then back to Gardner. A little bit of a push coming from Cochrane and Taylor, but just going to hold on. So it's Lawrence from Munro, Gardner, Taylor, Cochrane, and the second quarterfinal of the 8 boys. Quarterfinal number 3 coming up. And away they fly. This is O'Neill, Dickinson, Smith, Big and Wheeler. Tobias with that very distinctive orange helmet out of the Waitakere Club. And it is Tobias Dickinson leading them into the second straight. Got a nice wee gap at the moment. And behind him, that's Brock O'Neill. He's trying to go up the inside the 666. That's Ryder Wheeler. This is nicely done by Dickinson. Then we go back to O'Neill, then Wheeler. Then we track all the way back to Dylan Smith. Then Bryden Begg. This is nice from Tobias Dickinson. Some big digs on the pedals there coming in from Brock O'Neill. He's looking reasonably comfortable at the moment, though. So it is Dickinson, then O'Neill, then Wheeler, Smith, then Begg.
Great to see them high-fiving each other. They've all done well here today.
Final quarterfinal, boys 8, Rocco Beattie, Nelson Urata, Jay Matane, Oliver Gallagher and Thomas Ford. It's a cracking start by Matane. He has flown the gate, the Mountain Raider. Into turn 1, already with a nice wee break. He has really turned what was a 10th of a second advantage out of the gate. It's a good charge though. This guy's been riding really well in Nelson Urata. Nelson trying to go inside, goes underneath, gets him. Nelson, one of the Rotorua locals, using the track knowledge nicely through the rhythm section. This duo is cleared out. So it is Urata from Matane. Pushing down that home straight. Dropping into third. That's Oliver Gallagher, out of Waitakere. Coming through. And that is Urata, Matane, Gallagher, Beattie and Ford. And had a little bit of a chin wag, the high fives and the fist bumps going on. So that is the 8 boys. We now move on to the quarterfinals for the 10 boys. This features Ben Anderson, NZ1 on the inside there. Get round the outside of him though, that's Xavier Bell. Xavier's going to get to turn 1. Now trying to cut back on the inside is Anderson. Some big digs on the pedal now as they work their way up that second straight. Bell on the inside, Anderson to the outside. It's lost a bit of momentum there to Xavier, but they've cleared out from Salmon, Beattie and Clifford. This is the part of the track that Liam Clifford rides really well. I think he's given himself a little bit too much work to do, Liam. Ben Anderson, Xavier Bell. Clifford goes that inside line once again. But nice win for Ben Anderson. Xavier Bell. And then it goes back to Beattie, Salmon and Clifford. Quarterfinal number 2 on the way. Nixon Banks, NZ2. Ashton Payne, NZ3. Jackson Wynn, 509. Liam King, plate 146. And the 148 is Joshua Ford. Great start, Banks. Payne right beside him. This big long start straight down to the first turn. And it is going to be the duo of Banks and Payne. NZ plated riders leading them through. Good chase though coming in from Jackson Wynn. Up over the top as they head towards the second of the turns. Left-hander over that crest. Now sweeping round. Down into the rhythm section. It's Banks. Payne's dropped back. Wynn's got in front. Jackson, another one who rides the second half of the track really well, but looks like he's got this comfortable. Nixon Banks. Now we see Ashton Payne sweep back on the inside. So it's going to be Banks from Wynn from Payne. Next quarterfinal. Nice there from Liam King from Cromwell. High fives all around, and this is what you like to see. Dropping in. This is Manava, Fox, Lawrence, and Hamilton. And this will be a tough one because there's some good riders in this. Max Hay's been really consistent throughout the course of the weekend. He leads them into turn number 1. Dylan Fox, another rider that's been very good on the second half of the section. Dylan eases up to the outside of Hay. Now we start to see Cade Manava come into the mix, sweeping down into the rhythm section. Hay, pumping the arms, getting them through. There you see that good work from Fox. Is he looking for a cutback? Yes, he does. Leaves the gap there. Hay, then Fox, then Manava. That'll be it, 1, 2, and 3. Good race, Max Hay. Quarterfinal. This is going to be Tim Creswell, Khalil Alexander, Blake Andrews, Jade Buckley, and Fergus Gardner. And you see them. Gardner on the left, 500. Then Creswell, charging out of the gate. Khalil Alexander. Looks like it's going to be Khalil that's going to lead them into the first turn in this long straight. Although coming up alongside, they go couple wide. Now they snap back. Really big pedaling going on at the moment. This is the 7th race, the 7th of the weekend for these athletes. They're going up the inside is Blake Andrews from Whangarei. Get the advantage over Khalil Alexander, excuse me. Then we drop back to Tim Creswell. Andrews leads them into the home straight. Again, a couple of big stomps on the pedal. Styling going on the rear wheel there. Has he lost a bit of momentum? He did, but he's managed to regain it. No problems at all. Blake Andrews to go through. Alexander second, then Creswell, then Buckley, then Gardner. So, through to the finals there. So, the semi-finals. Anderson, Banks, Hay, Andrews, Bell, Wynn, Fox, Alexander, Beattie, Payne, Creswell, Manava, Salmon, King, Lawrence, and Buckley. And that boys' eights. Urata, Toya, Dickinson, Lawrence, Matanek, Murphy, Munro, Wheeler, Gallagher, Bassett, Gardner, Smith, Beattie, Taylor, Braithwaite, and Bryson Begg, the last one to get through. So that's a quick section. So in 10 minutes' time, we will see the next lot of elites coming through. So we will take another quick break here on Sky Sport Next and be back with our ongoing coverage of the 2021 BMX New Zealand National Championships presented by Permapine, Spark Business Hub, Red Stag Timber, O'Sullivan Clemens, proudly presented by Sky Sport Next in conjunction with The Stream Shop.